I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-minute Convos, where I help you create a brand of your own unique, real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good night, Karen Cordaway. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful night?
I'm doing well, thanks. How are you?
I am excellent. Thank you for asking. You're a gentle soul, I can tell already. But Karen, please do tell me which of your talents is responsible for us connecting. Or before you tell us that, what part of the world are you in right now?
I am in Connecticut in the United States.
All right. So yeah, tell us, which of your talents is responsible for us connecting?
I'm a podcast guest booker at KarenCordaway.com. I sent you a few guests and thought, why not be a part of the fun myself?
I'm glad you did decide to. But that's great. So who did you learn the skills necessary for connecting other people?
I worked on a Today Show contributor's book launch, and I placed her on podcasts, and she told me I was good at it. It was Farnoosh Tarabi, and she was delightful to work with.
Have the other people that you've worked with been delightful as she has been? I'm joking, you don't have to answer that.
I believe they have been.
Well, that's wonderful. So you've been doing this. So is it like, are you introverted just a bit?
I would say I am introverted, sure.
Oh, that's great. So I'm very glad and I'm honored that you would take the time to come out here and step out of what could be the norm, right? To do the podcast and have a conversation with me. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So why will you continue to repeat these skills of connecting people?
Well, it works well for me, and I've been able to get clients on a regular basis after hearing that from Farnoosh, and it's been wonderful.
Yeah, I'm guessing so. So you're like the behind the scenes person that are making so much possible in the podcast world. I do appreciate that so much. Because you get to comb through guests and then we get them, and it just makes the conversation so much better. Karen, well, please do tell me one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years.
Let's see. I try to add value whenever possible and go out of my way for people in general. And it could be something as small as letting someone with fewer groceries cut you in line at the grocery store, or holding the door for someone, or just helping someone out when they need it, whether it's on Facebook or if they email you. You know, that shows a lot about your character and your work ethic too, and that you're a good person.
How does it make you feel?
You know what? It makes me feel great. And, I've heard that when you do for others, it really makes you happy as well. So it's partially selfish too.
Yeah, I like that. I think being I totally agree with that. I think being selfish, that mode of being selfish is the best selfish you could be.
Exactly. Everybody wins.
I totally agree. So why would you suggest to someone that's listening out there that they even consider doing what you're doing by being that extra kind, if you would? Even I like the image of the person in the grocery store with less groceries and allowing them to cut through.
I think there's so many crazy things happening in the world, and it's so easy to be reactive and negative or not like people. And I think when you put that little bit of good energy into the world, it makes people a little nicer. Maybe, you turn their day around, or they have a little more faith in human beings.
Totally agree. Well, amazing audience, we are live with Karen Cordaway, and as she said, you can definitely reach out to her. She is the podcast booker, the podcast scheduler at KarenCordaway.com. Cordaway being C-O-R-D and away, right? Away we go.
That's right. Away we go is right.
Well, Karen, let's switch gears for a moment now, and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Karen, what is your earliest childhood memory?
Well, it actually has to do with snow. I was 5 years old, and we had a historic storm, and all of the roads were closed for like 3 days. So, ironically, even though it was like this big traumatic thing, it was also exciting because when you're 5 years old, you're only like 3.5 feet tall, and when the snow is 3 feet, it's really, nature is an amazing thing, and uh, it was fun to play outside, even though I was sinking through the snow. I got to participate in something that it kind of kept us in, and at the same time we got to experience the beauty of a snowstorm as well.
So why do you think this memory of all your memories are so clear?
Well, it was a big deal. Like I said, we were stuck in the house, and I just think it's something where you have to make the best of a situation, and there's always beauty in something, and you have to have a good outlook on things.
Yeah, love it. Definitely where I was going. Yeah, there we go. Well, let me still say, can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
Absolutely.
Perception. Yeah, it's really a lot to do with perception, and even in that earliest childhood memory where you are there and there's a storm here, and for some it could seem as though it's being naive, if you would, but hey, what else will you do? It's done, right? It's done. It's already what it is. But the what else you can do is to change your perspective, and hopefully that inspires others as well. So again, I love the idea of the grocery store and that individual with less groceries. It's perspective, right? I mean, yeah,
Exactly.
they could cost you like 3 minutes, right? But again, it's perspective, and I love how that connects, and that you are being your own unique real self all the way through.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
Don't You Forget About Me by Simple Minds.
It's amazing how it connects, right? Simple minds, it's really simple, right? And don't forget about me, right? It's the thing, right? Even in the grocery store, it's the third time I'm saying it, right? But the person behind you, like, don't forget about me, please.
I didn't initially make that connection, but I really like that.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
And that was from a movie, The Breakfast Club, and a bunch of kids had to stay after, and they were from different cliques, and normally they wouldn't hang out together, but they kind of bonded because they were all stuck there together.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, and two ended up falling in love. One was like preppy, and she went for a guy that really wasn't normally someone she would date. And so the whole "Don't You Forget About Me." But it also ties to what I do, because I try to tell my clients, you don't want to be forgettable. And in the song, it says, "Tell me your troubles and doubts, giving me everything inside and out." And it's like, you want to solve people's problems. You have to get them to trust you. And then, they have a bond with you, kind of like the people in the movie, and they will open up to you. And that's how you get to understand their pain points and help someone, and they're less likely to forget you. There's a connection there.
Yeah, well said, Karen. All right, my friend, look at you. Well, we have arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form, so it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. Karen, are you ready?
I am.
Karen, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Yes, my children with the kindness piece, and I have a Facebook group of people that want to learn how to be better at getting on shows, so I try to teach them what I've learned.
How many children do you have?
I have 2 daughters.
And are you married?
I am.
Do you believe in God?
I do.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
Yes.
What about screen time, the phone and or the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less.
All right, Karen, after 1,001 conversations in 3 months in 2016, I came up with an idea, a reflective self-discovery workbook called Yours. It stands for Your Own Unique Real Self. The idea being you answer questions similar to these on the podcast, right? And they connect you to the next step, which is your mission, which I term your own unique real statement. All of that to ask, if you had to share with us, Karen, your own unique real statement, a statement that represents Karen Cordaway, what would you say that is?
Remember to be a good listener. Whether you're face to face with someone or you are listening to something like a podcast, because we understand people better if we truly listen to them. And sometimes we hear what they say, but we're not truly listening. So I think that everyone can benefit from being a better listener.
Love it. Karen Cordaway, this was a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Well, I have a website and it's under my name, KarenCordaway.com. I'm also on Twitter by that same name. So I would love for someone to say hello. And, if they listen, that would be great to find that out as well.
That's wonderful. Karen Cordaway, thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.